said no interest. Said you found a better climax. You said he swagged out. You leave. It's like a shot to the back of the lungs of the devil. You don't want to go, but leave like it's nothing. You said no interest. Said you found a better climax. You said he swagged out. You leave. It's like a shot to the back of the lungs of the devil. You don't want to go, but leave like it's nothing.
I just be watching my words. You say whatever the fuck. I think I take what I get. They say whatever the love. This might hurt for days. Now I can't find my way. It's like 900 play. On to the next like I'm okay. Hey, this a pimpin', can you tell? Shit, I know I came with the hell. I done pull a baby in a spill. Came out new hair, new nails. She take my heart, then drop back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. Deleting pictures on the ground. You forgot who I am. From the front seat to the nosebleed. That's for acting like you don't know me. Now my new bitch, she a trophy. And she love me for the old me. Yeah, the cold me, yeah, the old me. She the homie, cop a rollie.
You said no interest. Said you found a better climax. You said he swagged out. You leave. It's like a shot to the back of the lungs of the devil. You don't want to go, but leave like it's nothing. She won't ride. Boy, shorty better than bad. Can't complain about nothing. Can't complain about nothing. How the fuck am I ever gonna go turn myself in? Gotta stack up on the circle. This is baby, can't tell. This is baby, can't tell. This shit little bitch, she out of one. Emergency, I'm trying to go to sleep. Money, cut out a load of trees. Savage Dior, this ain't no creed. My dog got a Dior, he back on the street. This bitch is real, she bad as she can be. I had bitches around, that was best out of me. I ran straight to them rest like a Hemi and me. Good energy, I invest in my queen. I can ride on this whole like a new 12 speed. My bitch, bad tragedy. Bitch, bad tragedy. You said no interest. Said you found a better climax. You said he swagged out. You leave. It's like a shot to the back of the lungs of the devil. You don't want to go, but leave like it's nothing. You said no interest. Said you found a better climax. You said he swagged out. You leave. It's like a shot to the back of the lungs of the devil. You don't want to go.
What's poppin', y'all, boys and girls and women and men and non-binaries and they, thems and goats and goatettes? How y'all doing on this lovely Saturday night? Hope everybody doing well. I feel like I had a pretty good day. I got me some interesting shit I want to show y'all actually. This. Okay. So I went thrifting and I also went to the mall to get some shit because I'm finna post and so I needed to get a fit. So one thing that I really like about like one of my roommates is that he's an art major. So because of that, he's just like really creative and he actually got vinyls set up all around our crib. So I was like, damn, I should get a vinyl. So it turns out there was vinyls at my spot I went to. So that was vibey. Then at the thrift shop, I found one of my favorite movies of all time, DVD. Then I found a little Sigma movie that everybody watches. I haven't seen it yet, but I still got to see Prisoners. Then I seen one of my favorite trilogies of all time, Matrix Reloaded. Isn't this Matrix 2, right? Looks like Matrix 2. Yeah, because Revolution is the last one, right? Or something like that? Let me see. Oh, they have... I didn't know I forgot Jada Pinkett Smith was in this. Damn, she was, wasn't she? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I got that to add on to my mysterious aura. And then the last thing I bought was also, I found one of the Divergent out of all the trilogy. Found that, so I'm gonna start reading. I've seen the movies, but I won't read just because I'm trying to get back into reading. I finished my 2 mangas and finished The Brothers by Karamazov, and it was pretty good. So I need a new book to read. So while I look for another new book, I'm gonna go ahead. But this is the hoodie, y'all gonna see how I apply it into my fit when I post. When I post, I'll probably stream afterwards. So y'all gonna see how I styled the footy into it. But yeah, so it was a pretty vibey day, pretty productive day. I ain't got too much to say for real. Tattoo's almost done healing. Should be done soon. Still a little iffy though, but anyways, shit. Yeah. Oh, there was a topic I had. There was a topic I had, and before I get off the topic and forget, all right, boom. So the yapping thing I've seen that I want to talk about. Okay, so lately I've been seeing the Nine Vicious stuff, right? And it's very split. He's a very polarizing guy, right? The talk around him has been very split. On one half, you have people that are just so in love with like the fact that like he's just embodying Thug to the T. It's just so cool, like so good. On the other half of people, kind of where I range at, it's more like I'm not really a fan because like if what's the point of hearing a, a dang near 1-to-1 copy of an artist that I already like, especially when he still has his discography so large. What's the point of watching someone do Thug not as good as him when I can just go listen to Thug? You know what I'm saying? But this isn't hate at all. I respect his craft. I respect the passion. I would never want to like demean a young artist or nothing like that. But one thing I really want, the main topic I want to talk about when it comes to this situation is just like how difficult it is to have a relative that's successful and want to follow in their footsteps because it's a very thin line. Now, this is obviously I don't know too much about Nine Vicious like personally, but I'll be hearing allegedly he's Thug's like nephew, and if he isn't his nephew, he's like signed to the label, and they've been close or whatever. They know each other for a long time. So whichever it is, it's like Nine Vicious and Thug is Nine Vicious is a good blueprint on what not to do when it comes to like becoming an artist or becoming following in the footsteps of your predecessor or your relative, aka Thug. A good version of this, which is kind of not the same thing but kind of the same, is like T Mac and Vince Carter. They're cousins. You would have never knew it, but yeah, they're cousins. But the thing is, like, they're two completely different players, completely different game, completely different fan bases. It's just straight. Hey, we elevating each other because we both related. Hey, locked in, cool, cool, cool, cool, cool. Again, it's not too relative, but it's just kind of just a good, like, some sort of like a connecting point to my point, where it's like you have two family members who are both talented in their own way, own accolades. You can't say that the one made the other. Now they probably helped each other improve on behind the scenes, but you cannot say like, oh, without T Mac there'd be no Vince, or without Vince there'd be no T Mac because it just won't work. Versus Thug and Nine, where it's like Thug Nine brings nothing new to the table. If you're gonna like take someone's style, because we can all admit like Nine, but from the videos to the music videos to the way he portrays himself online to his bars to his ad libs, it's just completely Thug written all over it. Which is like, okay, it's cool at first, but it's like there's only so long you can go around being a shtick of someone. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody can like. No offense to white boy, but like white boy Emmett, where you can just take someone's style and just make your own. Not everybody's so accepting of that, but it's like I just, especially if the dude, like, he's talented, like the vision is there, but I just feel like he's just going about it the wrong way, and it's gonna turn a lot of people off after a while. Cause right now he's the hot thing, everybody likes it. Oh, it's so innovative, it's so cool, it's so wow. He's just like Doug, but after a while, it's like, bro, you're not bringing anything to the table. So I just in my head, I'm just saying like this like the poster child of what not to do. You know what I'm saying? When you have an idol or someone that's you're in proximity to that's successful. Even though it's working now, it's not gonna work later, in my opinion at least. But again, he got some good songs. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't hating on him at all. But yeah, welcome to my TED Talk. Y'all can tell it's a TED Talk. You have a type of day. Y'all always get ready.
Take the you take the moon, now you take the sun type shirt. Rada rada type shirt. Church windows type shirt.
Okay.
I ain't gonna cap. Lil Bro kind of funny. I don't care because like he first of like I was talking about this earlier, like when it comes to music or whatever, like with Thug and like how he like has to like limit himself and he has to like be creative without being able to like say incriminate himself, which is kind of hard to do. I was like, it's like telling someone, making someone be good at music without being able to curse. You can do it, but you gotta be creative. Lil bro is like literally not being able to curse, but he's still finding ways to be creative and joning. First of all. Second of all, quick delivery, timing is perfect. These are great analogies. W Lil man. And she kind of look like J-Lo.
You take the moon, now you take the sun type shirt. Rada rada type shirt. Church windows type shirt.
Okay.
Church windows is crazy.
Okay.
Nah, Lil bro talented. I ain't gonna cap. Yeah, it's Lil bro talented. You take the moon. I wish I could actually laugh because it's pretty funny.
13 reasons why I need to give me 13 more reasons why the fuck that black girl was on that goddamn show.
To this day, I just feel like it was racism. I feel like they genuinely just like wanted to put a character that they could just hate, because it's already like super difficult to be able to like not retcon, but just like throw a non-white character into a show and make it mesh well without fans going crazy. But the fact you do that and then you make the character so ridiculously annoying. Like, she had no plot other than just harassing people. She was going around digging into to skeleton closets that she had no business digging into. She didn't have any personality. She was pretty bland. She was going around just genuinely harassing and messing with people. Like, just Clay. She was just going around like blaming Clay for shit, like glazing. And then they had her like being an apologist for apologist. Like, they had her being a Bryce apologist. Like, you don't, and they tell him like, bro, you don't know this dude. You don't know anything he's been doing to us. You cannot do this. Oh, but he's trying to change, mate. Chips and crackers, mate. Fishes and chips, mate. Eat a dick. Eat a dick. That show should have just never been created. That show should have never been created. Ever. Taking a picture every time I enter the teacher's lounge. Bro. Yo. Is this woman? Shout out to, my bad, her name Planet Orisha. I hope I'm saying her name right. Planet Orisha. Is she not the coolest woman like ever? Is she not cool, dude? Like, is this genuinely just not like, is she just not emanating like the term cool? Like, it's just so much detail in every single fit. Like, she genuinely embodies like an art teacher vibe. Like, this is just cool. I can just tell her classroom is just peaceful. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, this is, oh, hello. This is just like cold, bro. This is so cool. Like, bro, if you, like, you gotta tell, like, you know how that little packet dude was talking about? He's like, you gotta give him a little packet, man. You can't just give him a packet. You gotta inspire these kids, man. You want to give him a freaking packet, yo. It's like facts. If you want a kid to learn and stuff, you gotta really inspire them and show them that there's like passion and there's like creativity and beauty in like the thing you're teaching. And Shawty really love her job, I can tell. I actually love her feel like crazy, bro. And don't tell me she done. Don't tell me she added a low cut into the fit, nigga. Shawty styled her hair to go with the fit, bro. There's so much detail. The jewelry, the phone cases, the chains, the bracelets, the different coloring, the shades of colorings, and the pink with like the silver and the dark pink and the fuchsia. And you got the, oh my god, yo. Planet Orisha is overly cold, bro. And, bro, yo, I don't even know which one's my favorite fit. I don't even know which one's my favorite fit. This is overly tough. I'm not gonna lie, this is overly tough. This is like a Pinterest final boss type vibe. This is overly tough. I like cold, bro. Just cold, bro. I swear to God, if I had her class, if she was a teacher, I swear to God, I'll be there. If she was a teacher that I could possibly take every single day. My brother meals, they slowly get worse. Okay, so we got ketchup on mashed potatoes. Cool, got you. Ketchup on green beans. Ketchup on chicken, which is okay, cool. And his fingernails are dirty. Cool, let's do it. Ketchup on pizza. Cool. Ketchup on spaghetti. Ketchup on a chicken sandwich with cut up chicken. 2 burnt hash browns with ketchup on it. Let's do it. Fries on bread with ketchup. More fries on bread. Onion rings. Come on, man. What's Ketchup Boy problem? What's his problem? Little ketchup boy, little sodium boy, little salt boy. What's little man problem? Is he cool? Little salt boy. I don't know. This is a cry for help, and y'all sitting there laughing at him. I think we need to get check on little bro. This just isn't safe. What's his blood pressure? He could be like 18 with like a BP of like 3,000.
Move forward. Move forward. I'm a man. Forward. I am a man. I am a man. I am a man. I am a man. I am a man. Move forward. I'm a man. Move forward. Move forward. Move forward. Move.
Paid him $5,000. $5,000. $10,000 to become a man. Exerting your, like, what is this supposed to teach him? To exert your will? This is supposed to exert your will. Like, I get it. I see someone in the comments, come on, these guys are just trying to fix themselves. Help them out. So I'm not going to judge too hard, but I'm still judging. But it's like, bro, this isn't, you know what? Masculinity, it's a femininity, gender, it's all the spectrum. You know, there's different definitions and you can define it in different ways. But one thing I know for sure, this isn't going to make you a man, you know? Read. I don't know. You need to read. Read some books. Fucking like watch a Vinland Saga or something. Read Vagabond. I don't know. Like, you want to become a true man? You want to become a real man? Protect your family. Be caring. Matter of fact, if you want to become a true man, watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy and watch Strider / Aragorn. Just be him. Just be him. Just be him. Be Sam or something. Be Sam. Any male character on there besides like the villain, and like just model your life after them and you'll be good. Just literally look up Aragorn and then follow in his footsteps. Be soft and kind and strong and caring and listen and all that. And you're just it'll help you.
But he cheated on me though.
But you can't let the past determine like who he is now as a man, because like the past was like when he was a kid, you feel me? Like he was like a little boy like going around cheating, but like that doesn't matter now because he's a better man now. Like it's always in nature, like the metamorphosis, it tells you that like, cause like he's a man, like when he cheats, like it doesn't really matter, like, but the fact that like if you were gonna cheat, like it'd still be mad weird, so like you should still get back with him, cause like you don't know how he is now. He's a great man now.
Nah, I will for real appreciate, bro, because it's the thought that counts, bro. He really putting in that pain for her to understand that, like, bro, he trying to become a better person, and you just not trusting him to become a better person, and that's just what it is. But at the same time, if we ever get put in a predicament where he, like, the cops are talking to us, let's just make sure he doesn't talk. Like, let's make sure, just let me do the talking, because he just said a lot of nothing. He said a lot of nothing. But like I said, bro, shout out to him though, because he really. It's a thought that matters.
Acımdan öldüm laf. Günde bel hiçbir şey yemedim. Hala
Right.
kendime bir farklı kebap.
Yeah.
Oh,
Can someone explain to me what's up with this Balkan breakfast? And why do we have these like 70-year-old Balkan men grabbing a loaf of bread, some peppers, and some sour cream, and then just raw dog in it?
Ekmek kazıp domates yemeyen adamı bak hele bak. Bak hele bak. Bak hele bak. Uy domates düştü. Biber yemeyen adam.
And it can't be parody because they genuinely eat this. Like they're just genuinely being consumed.
Bak hele.
Balkans. Let's get up on this, man. Let's figure this out, man. I feel like there's more efficient ways. With salt, yeah, of course, the one season. Let's throw some salt on there.
Uy çok kötü.
Salt's important. You gotta have salt for your food, right?
Çok kötü.
Yeah, choke, choke,
Çok kötü.
choke.
İyi.
Yeah.
Oh.
Raw dog in it. And then you gonna moan in my face. Is it good?
Acımdan öldüm lan.
Super dry.
Bugün hiçbir
I
şeyim
mean,
var.
the tomato
Neden
probably
ben?
brought some like moisture, but I just don't understand.
Allah.
And he's just on a curb at like a dealership. He bought a car. Did he just have these in his pocket? There's no supermarket or just market in general behind him. This is a parking lot. It's like a dealership. Where did he get those materials? Did he dig into his inventory? Am I tripping? What whatchamacallit? You ain't got a table? No utensils? Ballguns, let's have a conversation, man. Let's figure that out, man. But we got a couple things to watch today. We got a couple things to watch. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying. There's one video I do want to look at though. Hold on.
This city will soon.
Hold on. There's one video I do want to watch. I need to look at it.
No
I know I spoke about it yesterday, but I'm getting annoyed.
funny, but like if you for real can't understand Cecil's point of view, like if you can't get why he's doing what he did, like I don't think you are fit for like adult conversations.
It's just like, I don't know, maybe I'm doing the same thing. Maybe I'm trying to see, maybe like the same way these people are trying to seem more superior by taking the quote unquote adult stance is the same thing I'm doing, instead of like trying to understand the perspective. Because like it's frying my mind when people don't understand why Mark is not only upset, but also don't understand his perspective. No one, and I don't even think Mark is saying Cecil is inherently wrong for his decision. I don't think no one is saying that. Yes, have countermeasures. Yes, you are the leader of the world in terms of like security over the planet. So of course you're supposed to do you have to make the hard decisions. No one's saying make the hard decisions. But first of all, there's no transparency. And not even just the fact that there's no transparency. He makes decisions. He makes decisions, right? With no transparency, and then feels attacked or feels hurt when people say, hey, this is fucked up. I don't want to be a part of this. He plays the victim game. If you're gonna be that guy like Nick Fury ass nigga, if you're gonna be one of those, oh, either we be the good guy or we save the world, don't cry when people treat you like a bad guy. Strike one. Two, even that philosophy is stupid. Because why is it they have to conflate saving the world and being a good person? I mean, like split. Why is it bad being a bad guy and saving the world has to be something that's connected and complete? It is interchangeable when it's not synonymous. It's just not. You just don't want to be inconvenienced. You feel like these decisions are the easiest decisions, even though like technically they're the hardest bearing, but you feel like instead of looking for actual solutions that can be changed, you decide to just follow the my bad. Instead of looking for actual solutions that can be good and help prove your point, which is save the world, you decide to go for the one that is just the quickest to come to mind, which is just, oh, I'm just going to make the bad decisions. Because the bad guys are making bad decisions, so we should be like the bad guys. When it's like, no. They're like, what are we talking about? You can be both. There's so many times, so many examples of characters who are able to be both. So many situations in which you can be both. I don't know where it comes from, if it's like a modern way of thinking, if this is like, I don't know where it comes from, but it's stupid. 3, let's go into the next reason why Cecil is just completely wrong. Cecil, if you're gonna have okay, and one thing as well, I don't know, and this might be a whatchamacallit, this might be a reach, but as a black person, anyone that's a minority, primarily black person, because I feel like, not to play oppression Olympics, but we might deal with it at a higher rate, but any minority is fine. We know when we're being gaslit. If I'm in a conversation with some random white lady at a higher position of power, she knows all she has to say. If I'm having a dialogue and I might have an influx in my tone, she knows off the bat all she has to do is weaponize her fear or her place as a white woman in America, and I can get killed, I can get arrested, all of these things. All she has to say is, you're scaring me, you're making me nervous, if I slightly raise my voice or I walk towards her because I'm a little passionate. So the people that are saying, "Oh, Cecil, Mark was genuinely, Mark was threatening him. When Cecil made that whole, oh, I'm in the white room because I'm scared of you. I'm in the white room because you're scaring me." When Mark has never exuded any sort of trait that can be deemed a threat to the planet or a threat to Cecil. If anything, Mark has challenged Cecil's authority, but he's never ever considered doing this. And people try to compare him to his dad, but it's like, season 3 shows that Cecil always knew who his dad was. He knew he was a liar. Mark has never exuded any sort of traits to actually follow his dad. And when people want to bring up, oh, he killed his father, he killed before, self-defense. We all can admit that Angstrom would not have stopped. There was no way of stopping Angstrom besides killing him. Now, did Mark snap? Yes. Did he lose control? Yes. But that was because he was fearing for the safety of his mother, and his kid's brother's life. And Mark internally thought, because Angstrom said, I'm stronger, I can take the damage. So although Mark did lose control, it was never on purpose. There are two of the different things. Cecil uses that as some sort of gaslighting or some sort of like gotcha moment, and it's just not a gotcha moment. People are really calling Mark a murderer. If someone breaks into my house and I kill them, I'm not a murderer. If someone breaks into my house and threatens my family, and I pull out my gun and I shoot them and they die, I'm not a murderer. If that was the case, what's his name that killed the dude that killed Trayvon Martin would have stayed in jail and would have got life for manslaughter. What are we talking about? The whole, oh, I feel afraid, you're making me scared. And this is the thing, right? If Cecil was really as right and as morally right as we all believe, right? In that situation, why would Cecil use his entire bargaining chip? If this was all we're waiting for Mark to become evil, if it's all, like he says, it's purely for pure intent, for the future of the planet in case he ever goes wrong, why would Cecil show that Mark, why would he show Mark his ace of his sleeve? The ear chip. Why would he show Mark the white room? Cecil was not afraid for his life as a person, in that moment. As much as he wants to say it and much I want to believe, he wasn't afraid for his life. And it makes me mad because as a minority, these things are true and serious. And it may not seem like much, maybe I'm taking that too far, but these things are real. These are real situations that happen. So it makes it even more mad when we see someone who's genuinely just trying to get their point across and a little passionate, just be treated like a villain because they're passionate. Cecil can go around throwing all these different, oh, I'm this, I have this power, I have this weapon, I have this weapon, I have this weapon. But the second Mark just buffs up his ship just a little bit, oh, I'm afraid of you, so I'm going to unleash my contingency plan on you, like he was going to actually kill him. Now, again, Cecil isn't inherently wrong with the contingency plans or all these. And let's talk about the reform. That whole reforming villains in a real reality, yes, you can reform criminals. But are we going to pretend like Cecil's actually reforming these villains? Didn't he, like, what was the wording? Something like brainwashing or something? We know that Cecil was like torturing these people into becoming good people, right? Unethically torturing them, but it's okay because they work for the government now, right? They work for the government. They're not reintegrated in society. They're just now Suicide Squad 2.0. They're just little chess moves to be used to kill any monster that they can't handle, right? Right? But Cecil's all in the right? Mark is just so unreasonable for his way of thinking. Because he's a teenager? Because he has an attitude sometimes? We're going to gaslight him and pretend like he's wrong? As much as I want to say Mark is right, I can see Cecil's perspective. So I'm not going to say Mark is 100% right and Cecil's 100% wrong. But don't try to play me and try to play this, oh, I'm holier than thou, I'm more intelligent than you guys, because I can see that, because I actually see that Cecil's right, because I believe in my head that being a hero means you have to saving the world, or the greater good means you have to crush a couple eggs. You're not, bro. You're not more than intellectual as you think. And this isn't an attack on you, bro. I ain't gonna cap. There's not an attack on Darius. This is just me. Like, I've been seeing a lot of people see this. It's like are we watching the same show? Is media literacy not real? I think Frankie even said it. If it wasn't Frankie, I'm tripping. But I think Frankie said it too. I ain't gonna lie. But we gotta work on this, bro. We gotta work on our media literacy, bro. We got to. Shit, Ronaldo. Oh, shit. Let's see this card of gold. Yeah, we're gonna watch this card of gold. Double OD. I'm Davis. Fuck.
I have to finish writing this paper.
Let's see this Nino paid motherfucker. K3. Latoni. Matter of fact, let me chill. Let's go one by one. Just because it's gonna confuse me. I'm not gonna be able to focus.
What did you do? It's gonna be a lot.
Alright, so let's go quarter gold first.
We'll talk if we lose this game.
Do you have is there a name on the group chat?
The Avengers.
Avengers?
Yeah.
The United States men's basketball team has won 4 straight Olympic gold medals. But the world is coming.
On va battre les Américains à Paris, le rêve d'une vie. On va pas la laisser passer.
That nigga really thought he really thought.
All of this started in '92 with that Dream Team.
It taught the world what it could be like.
Now, that fear factor isn't there anymore.
The Paris Olympics 2024. Throw all the NBA stuff out the window. Got to be on edge and ready.
We have Nikola Jokic, best player in the world.
We're not a timid the United States at all.
More and more people know what's coming from France.
We've played together for 10 plus years. These guys show up for 3 weeks.
Oh, okay. All right. That chemistry gonna help you when you gotta guard Steph?
God, like, Katie's so real. Katie's so real. And y'all messy. Y'all messy for even saying that. Maybe as much as we want to clown Jordan for pretending like he be like having to hallucinate all them, I took that personally stories, like when he would like fake stories to get mad. Maybe those were real. Maybe someone was instigating these situations to Jordan to make him mad. Because why did they tell them that? Why did they tell Katie that?
Oh, okay. All right. That chemistry gonna help you when you gotta guard Steph?
Facts. Well, you can have all the chemistry in the world until it's time to guard Steph. And that's what they did. All that chemistry for that double team, and it didn't work. Curry still hit that Curry slot to the right hash. Coke money, cheese.
Curry, triple. He sticks it!
Dang.
Excitement is off the charts.
It's captured the imagination of the world.
To win a medal in your own country,
We can be legend.
This is our first Olympics in quarter century.
We have to fight like we've never fought before.
basketball in Serbia gave happiness to people when time wasn't good.
It matters to be part of something special. Let's go. A lot of pressure that's unseen comes out.
They're playing for the country. It's a different pride.
I'm playing for my life.
Hey man, when we gonna have this conversation? When are we, bro? It's so sad because we're probably never gonna, as of right now, for the next few, we're not gonna be at the point, but we need to genuinely sit down, and almost every single person needs to apologize personally, not just to D-Wade, not just to Zaya, but to the community, just in general, bro. But it's just like the fact that this man was really battling cancer, battling his fighting for his life. At a moment when mentally, I just know he was destroyed. I just know the family probably couldn't cheer him. I know because bro, cancers are y'all. I don't even got to get into that. But this is one of the deadliest illnesses in the world. The most painful and excruciating phases of life you have to go through when you get cancer. And then to go on the internet and consistently see people just make fun of your child, your daughter, the person you brought into this life because of their the way they carry themselves. And I'm not even gonna call it a decision, but because their lifestyle. I don't even call it lifestyle. The way they live their lives. Clowned, called a terrible father, called a mistake, called all of these different names, discrediting your fatherhood, discrediting you as a character, just saying that you're a pedo, saying you manipulated your child. All of these things, bro, because your child decides to not only did your child decide to live the life that they deserve to live, but because you allow them to, because you support them, because you're very open and you're transparent with it. It's disgusting, bro. It was so sad to see that this man was battling cancer, and not only that, it wasn't even the fact that he's even battling. The fact that he kept it hidden. He could have gone in there and crashed on all y'all, bro, y'all really trying me right now, and I'm over here fighting for my life, y'all. But no, he kept it classy. He's yet to ever call out anybody who's tried him. He's yet to do it. Just consistently moves with a class a class that just goes higher and higher. And it's just so sad to see because the man has done nothing but be a good father, a good basketball player, a good person, riding for not only his daughter, but her community. Advocating for her community. You know what I'm saying? Advocating for her friends of friends, her friends' family, her friends' supporters, the things they go through. And he gets nothing. He doesn't get any love. And it's like time and time again, we swear we won't do it again. When Chadwick was getting cooked and folks was over here laughing at his appearance, we swore up and down, now that we found out he had cancer, we'll never do it again. Us in the black community, or not even the black community, us in the community, but especially the black community, because again, they're a part of our community. When these situations only are happening in our community, we're never going to do it again. We're never going to judge anybody for what they're going through, especially because we don't know. And then we do it again and again and again and again. It's just so sad to see, bro. It's so sad to see. It's so sad to see.
I'm praying for my life.
Message is simple.
Oh God, it's a yapping stream, nigga. Oh God, fuck.
Win.
It's in my blood, I'm a champion.
Hold on. Hold on. I'll be there to watch. When did they say it comes out? I was zoned out. February 18th. Okay, it comes out 2 days from now. That's cool. What else we got next? Let's listen to this Double OD.
Do you know what's really fun? Making a website on Wix.
And she was on bullshit. Had to dump the whole nigga. She gon' keep playing. She wanna fuck with nigga. I said fuck that whole nigga.
That boy was built so strangely.
Turn me to a rapper in this bitch, nigga. Double OD, nigga. I said my name is Double OD. Double OD from the 614. 614, I'm hitting it so. Made it so far, now Cardi my bro. They try signing me, but I say to the O. Said fuck that bitch, she a lame ass hoe. Word on my payment, I stuck to the code. Rockin' all black, yeah, you must think I was wrong. How you switch up while you call my phone? Stuck in the crib with her, that wasn't home. Money my feet and break on my clothes, huh? I'm rockin' designer shit, I got a designer bitch, I got a designer dick. See ya, all these bitches wanna fuck me now. See ya, give me my crown. My name is Davo, yeah, I'm from the 614. I say it again, ho, say it again, ho, say it again, ho. What's my name, ho? What's my name, ho? See ya, Double OD, Double OD, Double OD, Double OD, Double OD, Double OD, Double OD, Double OD. Get naked, ho, get naked, ho, get naked, ho. Dick on the cherry, yo, dick on the cherry, yo.
As much as you want to troll, and this isn't good, there's like diamond in the rough, bro. There's diamonds in the rough. Like there's certain flows he caught on here that were like actually good. You know what I'm saying? Like it was actually vibey. Like obviously he trolling as much as you want to say taking it serious, but if he ever wants to lock in, it could be interesting to see what he could do with it. What is this? My headset or is my hair? It's throwing me off. Okay, that's my headset. Okay. Next up is My Hero Academia Vigilante. So it seems like the prequel. I think this is a prequel to My Hero. Yeah, this is a prequel to My Hero. The manga is getting animated, which is on my page.
やっぱ生で見るとすごいな。
はい回り高一、バイトに明け暮れる普通の大学生。個性、滑走。移動系の個性か。でもあんま速くねえな。なんかキモい。ほっといて。みんな。すごいな。はい回り高一、バイトに明け暮れる普通の大学生。個性、滑走。移動系の個性か。でもあんま速くねえな。なんかキモい。ほっといて。みんな。ありがとう。人間は自分が見上げてるものに憧れる。人生って不公平だよね。
俺の仕事を手伝い、悪党を殴るとスカッとするぞ。
あの時俺が思ったのは、もっとヤバいのが来た。だった。なんでそんなこ
ことに付き合ってんの？
あんためちゃめちゃ立ち悪いな。
個人による死刑行為は犯罪だよ。
強力な個性にプロしか。
今更プロになんかなれっこない。
そんなものは真の正義には全く関係ない。
ヒーローになりたいから。
ああすべきことを前にした時行動を起こせるか否か。
ほんの一瞬でいい。俺だって飛びたいんだ。無認可のイリーガルヒーロー、ビジランテというわけか。
This looks like April 7th, April 7th, 2025. That's what it looked like. So that's what we're gonna say. That's what we're gonna say. It's April 7th, 2025. Anyways, next up we got Davis is on the radar. It looks like he has a new song and his old song.
Unlock the world's largest, most liquid financial market with Forex.com. Forex, or FX, involves trading one currency for another. It's a big deal with a daily turnover of $7.5 trillion. Forex markets are super liquid, ever-changing, and available 24/5. That means one thing: potential trading opportunities. Discover these potential opportunities with Forex.com.
The next stop is On the Radar Radio.
Stand.
Yo, I'm Davis in the building. This is the AMPT.
Yo, why is Agent Morgan in the bag?
Take over. I'm gonna step out. He gonna step in. All right, let's go.
Why is Agent Morgan in the bag? Damn, why Phantom do him like that?
Lately, I swear the stars don't shine the same. As long as you know my pain.
Look, I think he the weekend. It's a weekend type vibe.
Just the sun gon' shine again, and the clouds gon' turn from rain.
Look, he's like new, like Donda Kanye.
I swear the stars don't shine the same. As long as you know my pain. Just the sun gon' shine again, and the clouds gon' turn Life's from been weighing on my shoulders. Why am I scared of growing older? Feels like my dreams ain't getting closer. So judgmental like they know us. Trying to bend the light through the dark. Stay true to who you are. Life for me has been a war, but didn't think I'd make it this far. God hold me, don't let me fall. Swear I done seen it all. Can't hold me down, still stand tall.
Not a fan.
Wish we can make up for those losses in one night. Takes one phone call, one text, and now the pressure's off your chest. You don't mean there's no love just cause we fight. Baby, let me just stress. No, I know you best, yeah. Let's talk about the problems and work it out, shawty. I'm sorry cause girl, we was both wrong. Let's put the problems, yeah.
I ain't vibing, but I respect it. Hey, this is a new thing for him. I respect it. I'm gonna keep loving it, but I'm not vibing. I'm not vibing with it. But like I said, I fuck with it for sure. Bro, I fuck with it. Let's see what my nigga Tony on. My nigga Tony though.
The next stop is On the Radar Radio.
Stand clear of
Radar Radio performances. Yo, Lil Tony in the building performing. Can't remember. I'm gonna step out. He gonna step in. All right, let's go.
Yes, at least we tried. I felt that's just the way things go. I guess that's just the way things go.
I can't remember the last time I seen bro shit down my meals. Let alone count on my finger how many times I done put prints in the system. Don't matter how many bills I throw through and bitches I run through, I still be dealing. Don't want a hoe, bitch, I don't really want you. Know it ain't right, but the drug gon' heal it.
I'm wrong for real though. I don't think so. We all escaping one way or another.
I've been holding the Jordan and healing. And you got me wondering if you was ever on my side. Them and me gotta decide. Say I won't fuck with her, I'm sorry I lied. Normally I pull up on you to get people with your trip right now, baby, blowing my vibe. People be happy when they out of business of mine. I don't know, baby, maybe you should try it.
Maybe you should try it.
I guess it's the way things go.
Oh well. Yeah, oh well.
I guess it's the way things go. I can't forget what I went through stacking you rat, no, I can't go back.
No.
Won't never forget shit went down so fast, nigga ain't even shoot back.
I was young hot chasing the hat like I ain't brought T. I been chasing the plat. I don't get why these bitches chase me. I be somewhere else. I trying to chase me a bag. If I say we gon' get it, then we finna get it. These young nigga did it. Don't think that I'm finished. I'm fully equipped. I'm fully committed. My life getting different. I ain't felt how I'm feeling ever. Never. I'm fully committed. I ain't felt like this like ever. I can't remember the last time I seen bro shit down my milk. Let alone count on my finger how many times I done put Prince in the system. I'm tired. I start serving, but I'm still dealing. Long money getting printed, I'm still gonna get it. I don't want to hug, I don't think I feel it. Yeah. I've been holding Jordan and Hilly, and you got me wondering if you was up on my side. Then me gotta decide. Say I won't fuck with her, I'm sorry I lied. I know I'm not pull up on you to get people to trip right now, baby, blowing my vibe. People be happy when they out of business of mine. I don't know, baby, maybe you should try. You feel a little happy. And I'm fucking business.
Alright. Oh, Bobby. Yeah, it was some real shit. It wasn't no hard shit, but it was some real shit for sure. Tony rarely ever miss. I think always doing some hard shit. Let's see what we got next.
Starting today, anyone can monetize with ads as part of the all-new Beehive ad network.
Our radio freestyle.
Ooh, it is a little plug and beat, a little chop plug and beat. Okay. Can't go back. Go ahead.
RP15, get in my mood. I'm walking in public, a regular dude. They always told me I never would make it in class. Right now I'm ahead of the school. Right now I'm ahead of the class. Chillin', but don't get it fucked up. I drag nuts. How many times you need me? One thing about it, I always look out for my man. I'm coolin', feet kicked up in the sand. Nigga, how many times you gon' fuck up the plan? Back then I wasn't getting no money, and right now we can go band for band. Wartime we go man for man. Fucked up, I gave you chance for chance. One thing about it, I realized having a good heart really wasn't getting nowhere. I started my path on the road to riches. I'm deep in this shit, I'm almost there. Like lately I'm hiding emotions, I go through the motions, and I'm only hoping you care. Okay, I'll do it alone. That doesn't mean I ain't thinking and wishing you there. Lately I'm thinking about laying the cards on the table, knowing that life ain't fair. Lately I'm thinking about changing my life for the better. I think it'll do me some good. Using my time, my energy, helping the kids, that's how I get back to the hood. RP15, get in my mood, I'm walking in public, a regular dude. They always told me I never would make it in class. Right now I'm ahead of the school. Right now I'm ahead of the class. Chillin', but don't get it fucked up. I drag nuts. How many times you need me? One thing about it, I always look out for my man. I'm coolin', feet kicked up in the sand. Nigga, how many times you gon' fuck up the plan? Back then I wasn't getting no money, and right now we can go band for band.
That shit was vibey. What was it? Thursday? Oh, I don't actually have work on Monday. Sorry, I'm talking out loud because I'm planning for something. Yeah, I actually don't. I don't have work on Monday. Or Tuesday. So right now, my only 2 days I have work for real is going to be... Hold on. I actually checked something for real. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on. 1 sec, please. 2. Okay, so it's 1, 2. Okay, so really, I'm actually off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, of course Friday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday I work. I mean, but that's still a possible day. I'll plan this when I get up. Off stream. I'm talking out loud and I'm probably fucking up the vibes. Next up, that Nina Pay shit was Bobby. Sorry, I'm so like stuck in my head. I Nina Pay shit Vibey. I ain't even going back to y'all, but this is what I want to watch.
So, just so we're clear, if Commander Justice was played by a black guy, then we'd have to support it?
Yes.
So, like The Rock?
Well, maybe not The Rock.
Will Smith?
Not Will Smith either.
No more black trauma on screen. We want black joy. Too bad the black joy is right in front of you. It's now officially been over a year since I've started actively making content on YouTube. And while this channel is dedicated to cultural critiques and media analysis, it will always primarily focus on black media analysis. I've stated this before, and the reason being, it's practically impossible to separate racial politics from how we as black people create art. It doesn't matter if it's music, film, or poetry, all forms of black media are shaped by racial politics, whether we see it at a surface level or not. When it comes to film, the way those politics shape it can be a little more complex, as they play a role in both how films are made as well as how they're perceived. Despite Hollywood being more inclusive than it was in past decades, black people are still not in complete and total control over our stories.
If you have lots of readings to do, not just for your essays but for studying in general, you can just copy and paste the whole thing into Grammarly, then ask it to summarize it for you, and this saves you a lot of time. Of course, after your essay is done, you can also ask it to cite your papers for you, and you can just copy and paste your entire essay into the website and then click away all the punctuation.
We still find ourselves having to navigate the world through the lens of respectability politics in order to avoid offending white sensibilities. Regardless of who writes, directs, or produces it, as long as it's being funded by the Hollywood system, black stories will always, in some way, shape, or form, face pushback from said system. Combine this with Hollywood's tendency to paint black stories in a monolithic fashion, it's no surprise that certain stigmas started to get attached to black films. Stigmas that, in turn, affect how we as black audiences end up perceiving our own movies. Despite the myriad of black stories that we now have access to on screen, there's this notion that mainstream black cinema centers solely around trauma. Years of Hollywood's
It's all about trauma, except it's not true at all. While Hollywood does like to bastardize and take advantage of our stories on screen for profit, there's a plethora of black stories that exist just waiting to be seen. Problem is, no one watches them, despite crying for films that don't exploit trauma. Like, literally, bro. Like, we could just go like how I was the other day, like, just like vibey, chill days. Like, how come there's shows like there's films like Superbad, but like we only get like one singular film, and that was like Dope. And everyone loves Dope. Every nigga I know loves Dope. We love Dope. If we do shows, if you do movies like Dope, we'll go watch it. It could be one singular nigga or his friends or whatever, just fucking around doing fuck shit, trying to get something done, and we would love it.
Exploitation and taking advantage of our traumatic experiences for profit has convinced many of us into believing this sentiment, and before you know it, the majority of mainstream black cinema ends up getting reduced to quote-unquote trauma porn. It doesn't matter what genre or subject matter, from historical narratives to science fiction, all the way to works of playwrights like August Wilson. Yeah, apparently August Wilson is trauma porn now. As false as this narrative is, it does pose the question: what do black audiences truly want out of black cinema?
Well, me personally, I just want accurate depictions and beautiful stories told from our experiences, whether that be comedies, whether that be serious tone films, whether that be romances, whether that be action movies, whether that be detective movies, whether that be biographies. Anything we do, I just want it to be accurate and made fairly. You know, I'm not asking for one singular genre, just us to have all genres, all of it be made in fairness. You know, let's get a romantic movie out here. You know, a romance movie.
Everything on screen is allegedly black trauma constantly thrown out. What's the alternative that we want to see? Where's the solution? Well, fuck the solution. Who needs any of that when you can always throw everything behind black joy?
It's like a menstrual thing, menstrual cycle.
Is that joyful enough? I don't know if you've heard, but we're done with all that trauma. Black joy is the new hot thing. When discussing black cinema and the problems of Hollywood's tendency to exploit our trauma for profit, the concept of black joy is frequently thrown around as a solution, often used to dismiss films that depict our suffering in favor of something more lighthearted. However, this outlook isn't as helpful in the long run as we may think. As well-intended and admirable as it may be, relying solely on the concept of black joy is unhelpful.
Soul is cold. Soul is cold. No, I don't know.
As it only helps further confine black cinema into a box, reducing the myriad of black experiences down to just pain and joy, not realizing that the two are almost always interconnected. So let's see if we can find this so-called black joy to escape from all the trauma. And in the process, you might just find that they have more in common than you think.
Back of the bus! Rosa Parks story.
As usual,
like Blackish was genuinely just Ned's survival guide, school survival guide, Ned's survival guide. Wait, Ned's declassified school survival guide, but for white people. It was just teaching white people black shit.
Before we get started, let's establish a few things. Despite what the title may say, I am
black shit.
not anti-black people experiencing joy. This video is not attacking lighthearted, feel-good, happy black stories. Nor is it saying that black folks being miserable on screen is a requirement. That's just flat out ridiculous. That's like saying I hate babies and puppies. In addition, this video is also not downplaying or dismissing the sentiments to why the phrase is often said. Whenever people say we want more black joy on screen, it's usually in response to Hollywood shamelessly releasing a trauma-centric project that usually attempts
like Django, bro. Like, it was such a well-made film, like, from every analysis except like the slave part, bro. Like, oh my god, I
to
can't
capitalize off of a much larger trend or movement. It's a disgusting and exploitative attempt to try to lure in black dollars by profiting off of our pain, something that they've done for years now. These are valid issues within the entertainment industry that folks have been trying to address for years. This video is pushing back against the concept of black joy as a solution to Hollywood's exploitation of our trauma. Often when trying to criticize this, we claim to want more black joy on screen without ever really being able to articulate what that looks like. It's used as a throwaway phrase, a nebulous term that only gets brought up when it's time to dismiss films that either center around trauma or make us uncomfortable. To put it plainly, it's a cop-out. Solely relying on broad phrases such as "we want more black joy" does nothing to challenge the root causes of the problem. That problem being Hollywood's tendency to not only exploit and bastardize our pain on screen for a cheap and easy profit, but not putting much care and nuance into it either. Diluting the black experience on film into one giant monolith. Attempting to cover that up with an umbrella of black joy does the exact same thing, only on an opposite end of the spectrum. It becomes the feel-good version of the exact same problem. The phrase ends up being a walking contradiction. To illustrate this, we'll break it down into two things: how the phrase itself is redundant and undefined, as well as how it's hypocritical in practice. In doing so, we can see how the black joy that we so desperately want on screen has been right in front of us this whole time. So, let's dig in.
You no business born insecure junkyard motherfucker!
This may be the last ad you see. With Pi Adblock, visit your favorite websites and watch ads disappear. However, you can also
It's easy to write off black stories that feature traumatic experiences as quote-unquote trauma porn, but when you examine how loosely the phrase is applied, you see that it starts to lose its meaning. It's not hard to spot and identify when a black character is experiencing some sort of racial trauma in a story. However, what's not so easy to identify is when it becomes trauma porn. What makes that distinction? Where is the line drawn? The way that every black person experiences racism and racial trauma is going to be different, and likewise the way that every black person expresses and articulates said experiences is going to be even more different. While some filmmakers may explore historical accounts and biographies, others may depict our trauma through everyday contemporary experiences. Some filmmakers will use absurdism and comedic elements to explore it, while others may interweave it within other genres of film, such as horror or action. In some instances, the trauma may be the centerpiece of the film, but for many others, it's just another aspect of the world the characters live in. There becomes no singular way to identify what constitutes quote-unquote trauma porn, as there's no singular way to quantify racial trauma. The same goes for black joy, as both it and trauma are too broad of emotions to lump into a singular category of movie. They become impossible to define or put parameters around because of their range. Like trauma, joy is just one part of the spectrum of human emotion that's expressed in different ways. Joy can be the tone of a movie, but it could also be something expressed by the characters. Or it could be a goal of one of the characters, something that they're on an arc trying to find. They have almost infinite applications, making it impossible to examine joy and trauma separately, because to do so would isolate them from their respective context. Both black joy and trauma exist within the context of the story. It doesn't matter what that story is or the genre. It can be sci-fi, western, romance, action, or comedy. They can also be experienced simultaneously. They're both emotions, invoked by different things and displayed in different ways. For example, Cooley High, directed by Michael Scholl, centers around a group of black boys growing up in Chicago during their final weeks of high school. A classic coming-of-age film, it doesn't focus solely on black joy or trauma, but rather the wide spectrum of experiences. We see the characters go through moments of thrill, joy, and fun amongst each other, as well as the bad decisions and mistakes they make along the way, some mistakes that have more dire consequences than others. We see characters at their high points as well as their lows. We see them as fleshed out characters, as human beings. This isn't exclusive to just Cooley High. The same can be said about any black coming-of-age film, regardless of the decade it was released or the subject matter. The trauma depicted isn't the focus of the film, but rather just an element of the character's experiences. Another example of this is through comedy, with films such as Life, Harlem Nights, and more recently, Sorry to Bother You, Atlanta, and They Clone Tyrone. The racial politics in these works are pretty explicitly shown, and plot devices for the characters. However, they don't detract from the joy, thrill, fun, or silliness that the characters may experience. For many of these films, it's just a part of the backdrop, and we as an audience see the characters navigate through it, whether it be through hope, perseverance, optimism, irony, sheer will, or even something as simple as humor. A black story, regardless of genre, tone, or the mood it invokes, can still contain trauma. A black film having traumatic moments for the characters does not by default make it trauma porn. Because of this, trying to look for films that solely rely on black joy and are devoid of any sort of trauma is damn near impossible, as at the end of the day, even if it isn't racially motivated, they still are just two spectrums of emotions expressed within the context of their stories. They're interconnected, sharing so much overlap to the point where defining them with a singular definition is impossible. Films that could be considered trauma-centric could also apply to films centered around the theme of finding joy. It's all about how it's expressed on screen. Attempting to isolate the two from each other fails because it requires you to isolate them from the context of their stories. All of the films just shown contain just as much joy as they do trauma. However, why don't we consider the majority of these films trauma porn? Well, that's because it has nothing to do with the trauma itself, but rather how it's presented, as well as who's presenting it. Black media starts to get labeled trauma porn when it's done in an exploitative, tasteless fashion, trying to emphasize the painful aspect.
I just zoned out. I was listening to him, but I just couldn't multitask. I'm playing into a whole bunch of stuff, and so I had to like lock in and do that. But I was hearing everything he's saying. It's just I was answering, and I had different responses and different thoughts to what he was saying. But like me hearing him talk at the same time, me talking, and then me also formulating thoughts to do what I'm doing on my phone, it's like too much work. Well, I gotta make a phone call. Alright, officially done.
Of the black experience without any sort of care or nuance, whether it be
Roots, man. Roots. What can I say about Roots and Kunta Kinte? Roots.
Through unnecessary displays of
Roots is such a beautiful, like at times that series is such a beautiful. There's so many beautiful moments at times in that series, but it's such like a
graphic violence or using the trauma as nothing more than a prop in stage. This all stems from Hollywood's tendency to treat black audiences and our films as a monolith, thinking
facts. You know what it is? Instead of me when I be saying, yeah, why don't we just do these type of films? Why is like let's just stop making the trauma the focal point of the film. I think that's what it is, or only portraying trauma in our films. Because like he's saying, the problem isn't the trauma. The problem is it's only the trauma, because trauma and sadness is just a huge spectrum on a huge spectrum of emotions. So like if you were to flip it and only do joy, it'd be like, God, why are we only seeing this like slave like happiness? Why are there no struggles or nothing? Which is like a very fair point. It's like niggas want failures, niggas want obstacles and shit like that. We just also want to see succession and things like that overpower it, kind of. Or just not even, bro, just don't give us any treatment. Just treat us fairly. Give us the same type of films you would give white people, if you get what I'm saying. I'm not saying like we want white films, just like the way you would carefully plan and think out these complex plots for black people, for white people, give them to black people. Type shit.
That our stories and day-to-day lives all fit into a cookie-cutter template of racial trauma. They think that sensationalizing the violence or depicting the trauma without contributing any sort of analysis or commentary is enough. The trauma becomes the default on screen, and any storytelling is formed around it. The industry will see movies like Get Out perform really well at the box office and then try to repeat the success without realizing why the movie did so well in the first place. Audiences were given a film about the insidious nature of white supremacy, how it takes many forms and loves to hide in plain sight, particularly disguising as white liberals. But what did Hollywood see? Sci-fi? Horror? Racism? Genius! Remember slavery? Remember Jim Crow? Well, what if you combine that with Hot Tub Time Machine? It's how we get all the shameless black trauma sci-fi horror movies we still see today. I think it's safe to say we don't need another plantation time travel movie. It's something that's already been well explored. When black trauma becomes the default, you end up lumping the black experience on screen into one giant box. It's also the same reason why the blanket statement of black joy by itself fails as a solution. The monolith remains. The root cause of this was Hollywood not treating our stories with care, and just pasting a black joy aesthetic over this does nothing to address this, as the only reason why it became trauma porn in the first place was due to Hollywood's exploitation and not caring about the stories themselves. When black stories aren't thrown into boxes and treated with respect, then you don't have to worry about it becoming trauma porn. You engage with the story for what it is, and the black joy comes with it. But I know what some of you may be thinking. We get all that, Pillboy, but we're still exhausted. You're telling me black people can't have any art on screen that's divorced from racial politics?
W strong man.
Any? Sometimes you just want to see a nigga fight aliens. What's wrong with that? Nothing. There's nothing wrong with that at all. In fact, we should embrace more feel-good, happy, escapist black stories. There's only one glaring problem. None of us are watching them.
I'm going to show you guys how my style went from this to this. All I had to do was fill out a style quiz. It asked me different.
I'll be damned if a fucking AI robot's gonna put fits together. You did dig.
My play, With Tail Between Legs,
good title.
I wrote and directed it. It all takes place at a strip club. Two gangbangers hold a pastor, a drug dealer, and a pregnant teen hostage in the middle of Hurricane Katrina.
That's a real situation. I'm glad that story's being told.
Already adapted it into a movie.
I take it nobody wants to see yet another half-hearted fictional account of American slavery or a whitewashed and watered-down retelling of civil rights figures. Don't worry, I'm right behind you. Earlier at the very beginning of the video, I said that I wasn't going to be dismissing the feelings of black audiences in regards to why so many of us are so frustrated and cynical of Hollywood's treatment of black cinema. We're exhausted. You can't expect an audience to be anything but exhausted when Hollywood has time and time again proven that they will shamelessly display our pain as long as it's profitable, regardless of the emotional fatigue it leaves on us. No matter how much care, grace, and nuance you may give a black story on screen, those traumatic moments in it can still be too much for an audience member to handle. It doesn't matter how beautiful a movie is, no one should ever have to trigger themselves in the name of art. But this disregard of the emotional well-being of black audiences is just another result of the aforementioned monolith that Hollywood likes to paint us in. This fallacy that just because black people have to live through the perils of racism and white supremacy on a daily basis means that we have to be strong enough to see it on screen 24/7. No. Black audiences have every right to be cynical with Hollywood. However, that cynicism has in turn blinded and shut us off from a lot of black stories that are trying to give us exactly what it is that we want to see. The problem is, we like to make claims of wanting to see more black joy on screen, but then not watching said black joy when it's presented on screen. Within the past 5 years, there have been countless black movies and television shows that have been released that combat the black trauma porn narrative. However, many of them go unwatched. The amount of time and effort we spend criticizing the relatively small amount of films that either exploit or emphasize our trauma is almost never spent on films that focus on fantasy and escapism. And this is not a new trend either. This problem has been going on for years. But why is that? Why is it that we're not supporting the films that we so desperately crave from black cinema? Well, it's a mix of factors, a combination of a lack of awareness that many of these films even exist, as well as us just being hypocrites in general. The first and most glaring reason why we're not watching these movies is because, well, many of us don't even know they exist. This can't be entirely blamed on black audiences, as not all of these films were marketed the same. Films like The Little Mermaid, The Color Purple, or Bad Boys were all Hollywood blockbusters and received much higher budgets and were shown in more theaters than smaller films like American Fiction, The Book of Clarence, and The Blackening. With less people even knowing the movie exists, less people are obviously going to go see it. However, this isn't a good enough excuse. For as much energy as we spend complaining that these films don't exist, that energy isn't translating into ticket sales and box office revenue. If we want to see these movies, we have to make an effort to go out and look for them. That includes supporting them when they get released through non-mainstream and independent venues. In the past, I've talked about streaming services like Tubi and how it's such a great tool for black filmmakers. It allows for us to release independent and micro-budget films to large audiences for free. They don't nearly make as much money when compared to their Hollywood counterparts, but they still are a very tangible way of gaining access to more diverse black stories on screen. And when I say diverse, I mean diverse. Just about any type of black movie you can think of is on Tubi, no matter how niche or expansive. You want an action-based political thriller about a mom who learns of her secret special ops past after recovering from amnesia related to a car accident? No? That's okay, maybe you prefer a comedy. You want to see a bizarre yet fun comedy about a woman who, in an attempt to get over her breakup, enters a TV show to find out if her new love interest is a catfish? You want black westerns? They exist. Black
Western, The Harder They Fall, to this day, amazing film, so good. Oh my goodness. Majority black cast. You had Idris Elba, Jonathan Majors, I no disrespect, but I always forget her name, but the woman that played Domino, and that's Val from Atlanta in there, Lakeith Stanfield, Regina King, the guy from Black Clarence, the Book of Clarence, who also is in Power Rangers, the Autistic Blue Ranger. I forget his name. No disrespect. Oh my God, great cinematography, decent plot. There's a couple plot misses in there, but decent plot. Pacing's pretty good. Soundtrack is great, bro. Acting performance is good. It's just so good, bro. I gotta watch that. Plot twist of hell, like Chef's Kiss, one of my favorite Netflix movies.
Fantasy, they exist. You want to see a nigga fight aliens? They definitely got it. Hell, you want to see a horror film about Santa terrorizing a black suburban town? They even got that. Just about any niche or genre of black film can be found there. These are smaller creators responding to Hollywood. Everything we've been vocalizing, they've actively been doing and deserve the support. If you like what's being released on these platforms and eventually want to see these stories on the big screen, you have to watch them. And they're more likely to fund and produce future works just like it. But Tubi isn't great for just new independent cinema. You've also got a vast catalog of past black theatrical films that do the exact same thing as mentioned, ranging all the way from the 1940s with films like New Orleans all the way to Spike Lee. Whatever the opposite of black trauma porn is, you're 9 times out of 10 gonna find it on platforms like this. With all that said, if you examine all of these films, from the independent ones to the ones done in Hollywood, from the ones that came out 7 years ago to the ones that came out 7 decades ago, you see that all of them have the same thing in common. None of these are explicitly black joy movies. Black joy isn't a genre the same way our trauma isn't a genre. These films cover such a wide range of topics, emotions, and genres that confining them to a box of quote-unquote black joy does nothing. All of the issues that come from loosely throwing around labels like trauma porn also apply to phrases like black joy. They become lazy generalizations, all based on Hollywood's tendency to put our stories into boxes. When we feed into this false dichotomy, it just furthers this issue, trapping black cinema in a rigid box. You ready to play a little game with me? No? That's okay. We can pause the video right here until you're ready. Ready? Great. Let's imagine a hypothetical black movie. This movie portrays both the celebration of black culture, resilience, and joy, along with the harsh realities of systemic oppression, violence, and suffering. How then do we categorize this film? Does it glorify black joy or reinforce the trauma of black existence? If a film embodies both of these, is it possible to label it one or the other without diminishing the complex nature of what it means to be black? Should the existence of joy amidst trauma be celebrated as a testament to our resilience? Or should it be viewed as an attempt to diminish or sanitize the impact of our trauma? If black joy can only be understood through the lens of black trauma, does that mean true joy for black people is inherently intertwined with suffering? Or, conversely,
today I'm using Upwork to hire a WordPress developer. I'm gonna try using Upwork AI. It's great that you can just write a couple sentences.
Does the mere presence of trauma in these stories mean that the system prevents us from expressing pure joy, or even experiencing it? You're left with one big headache. It's a paradox. It forces you to reconsider and define how we consume black movies. Are they vehicles for healing through joy, or mirrors of repression through trauma? Or maybe it's both. Or maybe it's neither one of those. Black cinema, better yet black art in general, is too broad to apply lenses like this to. And as long as we keep applying this rigid criteria to black movies, we're not going to be able to appreciate everything that's out there available to us right now. The only solution is to stop applying boxes to black movies, on both Hollywood's end and ours. On Hollywood's end, we gotta continue to call out the lazy and shameless attempts at capitalizing off our pain. But on that same end, make sure that you're not downright dismissing black stories on screen. Analyze a black story on screen for what it is. If the story ends up being too much for you, that's okay. That doesn't mean it's inherently exploitative. It's just not for you. On our end, as audience members, we have to be more critical of ourselves when we engage in black movies. Are we so busy arguing about what quote-unquote black joy looks like on screen that we completely miss the movies and TV that are doing that exact thing? What's stopping us from supporting the abundance of projects that already do that? At the end of the day, watch what you want to watch, whether it be a biography or an action flick. Just understand that black cinema has no specific labels to it, and the sooner you realize this, the more you appreciate what's in front of you. Whew, all this talk about pain and joy got me feeling a little woozy. On New Year's, I want to watch something silly, a little heartfelt. I'm gonna go watch Meteor Man. Y'all remember Meteor Man? I like Meteor Man. Did you know that Meteor Man canonically teamed up with Spider-Man? No, you didn't. No one did. You know why? Because nobody read his fucking comics. Oh well, go watch some black movies.
Real nigga shit. You ate that. Oh, bro. Oh, this was fun. Fun little conversation, fun little gaps, fun little video. Stream. Tomorrow Super Bowl Sunday. We'll see. We'll see if I stream. I don't know. But if I don't, I'll be back Monday. Vibe. You know what I'm saying? I'll miss y'all. You know how we do.
You nigga been hating way too long. Yeah.
One day.
Yeah.
Too long. Something.
How about that?
So until then. Say it with me now.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Members?
Yeah, I'm with the AP. Spent 200K. They told me that frost. Rainbow face. They hope I fall off. Ain't no way. I might be alright, but it ain't okay. Niggas got left. Niggas went right, I went left and stay left, and ain't nothing the same.